Alright, so this was a car that was purchased by someone I know. It's the best way to say this. Basically, it was transported here. It was purchased sight unseen based on all the descriptions from the seller. Some of the seller's descriptions were the interior was 9 out of 10 and it only had seat cracking, which is just normal for age, you know. You expect to see some worn parts from age, alright? All the bushings in the suspension are good. There's no parts or wires or anything dangling from the car. The seller also said that you'd be happy with what you paid for it, and there's no trans issues, there's no oil leaks. The heat and the AC work great. The paint was nice, and there was only a small crack in the front bumper cover that was repaired at one time, and the door jambs were actually pretty clean. Basically, like, with that being said, I've been around srt4s for at least 10 years now. I've probably had my hands in at least 100 of these cars, whether I took them apart, repaired them, owned them, or helped other people fix their stuff, or seen pictures and stuff. So I kind of feel like I know where every nut and bolt goes. Everybody has their own opinion. So with that being said, what you're going to see is what the car looked like when I initially looked at it, and I basically pointed out a lot of missing parts, incorrectly installed parts, stuff that needs to be addressed because it's going to cause either that part's going to wear out or it's going to cause damage to other things. And I'm sure I missed stuff because the more I look, the more I find. But hey, with that being said, here you go. Check us out. Alright, well, what we're doing here today is a friend of mine just took this car, a guy I know local, just took this car for delivery. It hasn't been driven on the road yet. We kind of want to basically do a good once over on the car and see if there's any problems that need to be addressed before we run this through our local inspection in our state, along with anything that was improperly done, which is just, it's just something that's really common when you're talking modified cars. So I got it here, it's on the quick jack, but I just wanted to make a little note here. I'm gonna turn the camera sideways, so it's gonna be a little weird. All right, now this is looking underneath this car, and there is wiring within 1.5 inches of the ground in there. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can see it, but it's just kind of hard to on the camera for me to tell if it's showing you the actual height off the floor there because it's dark. All right, well, let's get this thing up in the air. All right, so here's just a quick view of underneath the hood. You know, overall, the first couple things, I don't know if it's actually going to pick it up. Probably have to get a light. Yeah, grab the light there. Cool. It's not too often that you see brake rotors with heat cracks. I've honestly never seen one on one of these cars. I mean, I know it is a high, I guess you could say high horsepower, so it's got, you know, big turbo and stuff, but still, you know what I mean? You can tell it was been run hard because the brakes are shot on the front and the back. Overall here, I mean, looking at the body, you can tell the car was repainted. It's missing the door filler panels, which is just something that's a little off for an srt4, something you don't see too often. You know, the quality of the paint job, I mean, was a little less than be desired. Whoever actually did that. I mean, it's normal to see a little bit of, you know, orange peel and clear. That's nothing terrible. New cars have that also. You can initially see that, looking at this, there's something going on with this quarter panel. Just basically because it has some cracks in the body filler here, and the way this panel's fitting down here. They did a nice job, I guess, filling in the hole. Coming down here, you can see on the passenger side here how this is actually fitting pretty decent, but the molding on this this quarter panel is a little off. So I mean, that drew my eyes right away, and you can tell that they were both rolled here at one time. The car does have struts on the rear, which is extremely strange. I would say that this one here is probably shot. The back brakes aren't showing any heat on the rotors, but the rotors are basically shot because they were wore down too far. Alright, you know, like I said, missing the inserts over here. I did see some good spots where they overdid it on their filling in. The front fenders, you can tell, are rolled. You know, this is bad prep work in the paint, but like I said, I'm not trying to pick on that too much because we already know that there's something different there. The fenders were rolled. You know, you can see nothing was taped off when this was painted, and you can see we have some coilovers here on the front and struts on the back. Oh wow. Here's a good one. I don't know if that's gonna pick that up. Yep, right there. I can see this in this little tiny screen on the camera, and you should be able to see it too. We got runs all the way down this door, which is funny. This one here is nice and shiny. We got runs, and then that door back there in the paint has, you know, well, we got a big dent back here, and then you have like, it's real dry. You know what I mean? Like there wasn't enough clear on there. And like I said, the fact that it's missing the door filler panels is kind of slightly irritating. I would say here, look at this. How old is this paint job? We still have tape on the side marker light, so I mean that's definitely a plus there. There's runs down across the bumper. You could tell that this bumper was repaired here at one time quite unprofessionally. And then also looking at this, if you look across the top of this core support goes up and then down. So I mean, like I said, I'm not even starting to get into any of the mechanics of it. So overall, I mean, that's looking at the body, and it's not too pretty. So we're going to inspect the interior here now and see what's missing in there before we even get to the engine on this, because I've seen things on here that you're definitely going to want to see. Alright, so upon initial opening of the driver's door, I've noticed that there's some scratches and stuff here that were caused at one time, and there's also some here. That obviously means somebody got locked out and they were trying to, I guess, unlock their car, whether they were breaking in or they owned it and they were the ones that locked their car in here. That could happen to any car. So extreme amount of wear here on the steering wheel. The gauge pods are held in by a rag because they weren't installed correctly. It is kind of cool. It does have some commemorative seats in, but these ones here, man, they definitely had seen better days. Getting in here, the car's showing 112. I guess they painted this here, and don't need that on. Let's see what kind of shifter's in this thing. Alright, so it looks like it's got a Mopar short throw shifter, and it's not any kind of a pretty shifter. I mean, I've seen stuff that's pretty clean. For a car that's supposed to be nice, that's not exactly perfect. It's just these here seem to be turning okay, so something wasn't, you know, you can't tell if anything was apart there. Yeah, I know. I'm digging the towel support on the gauge pods, especially for what the asking price was for this car. Is quite, it's really stiff. Something's going on there. And I mean, you know, other normal stuff. The center console's actually all right. The door panels are okay. Well, I mean, you know, you would think that the passenger panel would actually have some screws in it, and yeah, we have no screws in the passenger panel to hold it on to the car. So that's a pretty interesting one. You know, passenger seats not too bad, but like I said, they're commemorative seats, and it's kind of worn, you know. I see no screws holding the center console in either. No screws there. Why would you put screws? We got 2 in the front. We're missing all 4 on the back. Now, like I said, I mean, this car was delivered a day last week. We are now just actually getting a chance to look at it before it actually gets on the road. Let's check this out, see if we see anything bad inside here. No, just typical gauge wiring that I've seen over the years in there, set up. Not perfect, not great. Yeah, floor mat looks all right. You know, it's always something nice to try to, you know. Carpets got a nice heel mark, so you know whoever was in here, these are probably not the original floor mats if somebody replaced them. Just as a guess, like I said. All right, now here we go. Moving into the back door. It's a little stiff to open. All right away we're missing this trim panel. We're missing the crank. No screws in this back door panel. Here's our back seat. It looks like we got something going on here. This is kind of normal. I've seen this many times. That's common for cars. Now we do have, here's the holder, but it's missing the clip and the other part that goes with it. Normal stuff under a back seat, I guess. Paintwork down through here. It looks like might be some body work right here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. Yeah. Checking out the door. What's going on here? Not too bad. Well, you can tell this here. That's how you can tell you had paintwork inside your jams. So this door here, and you can tell this was taped over because there's overspray and stuff. So this door is probably not an original door. So it was probably replaced and painted at one time. If you check up front, okay, we have 3683 VIN on the door. Nothing looks like it was taped off, so you can see that's like a clear piece of plastic there. The other one you can tell is painted over. So, I mean, if you're ever checking and you're looking, here's your VIN. The doors should have a VIN tag on them. You know, just so you know, there should be a VIN tag in here on a back door. Yep, it's actually here, right in there. Which I don't know if there's light. It's right there, but they painted over a VIN tag. I mean, not that we're getting too picky here, but you know, the fact that there was some body work here and this is cracked out. Kind of curious to see what else we can find here. We're in the trunk. I mean, this here's a little weird. I don't know what was going on in here at one time. It's got some looks like Dynamat or something going on in here. This is torn here pretty good. What's going on over here? Okay. Yeah, alright. Looks like it actually has a kicker harness, which isn't too bad. Can you bring me the flashlight? It's right there on the floor. That way I can see up in here. What's this? Oh. No, I don't think this thing even has... They don't even have reverse lights in this car. Alright. Oh, well, there's the reason for the bodywork back here in this corner. Looking across here, you see the black inside there. It actually had a quarter panel put on it here at one time. A long time ago, I would say. I mean, so it's kind of hard to say what the actual damage was there. But I would say it was probably the quarter panel and the door, since the door is painted on the inside. It looks like here's your VIN tag for your trunk is actually on there. So that's actually the right one. They actually welded the hole shut when they did the trunk, which is, you know, I guess a better way to do it than trying to stick goo over it. here's a door rubber underneath the carpet. Not sure why that's there. Yeah, they lined the whole trunk with Dynamat. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. That's not normal. Well, it wasn't too bad. So, you know, so I've seen these hit where this vent square is actually out of shape. So, I mean, it could have just been, you know, surface of the skin messed up. You can see we got repair in through here. I don't know. Bring that in across. And you can kind of see what you're looking at here. Like I said, it's missing reverse lights on both sides. Here we go. Alright, now, so you know if a car had quarter panels replaced, there's a VIN tag right there. That looks good on this side. I figured since we're in here, we would just check this stuff out. Alright. I mean, you know, we've only made it halfway around this car. Working on checking out what's inside on the interior. Alright, now, like I said over here, let's see here. No screws in the door panel at all. It's missing the retaining clip here. The sill plate for the back here is missing. Oh, I see something else here. It looks like the camera's picking it up. This seatbelt here is installed incorrectly. Is this one loose? No, it's not. Just look that way. So, you know, we got that, which is, you know, somewhat strange. Oh yeah, see, you can see what the VIN tag looks like. That actually has the correct last four numbers on this VIN tag on this side. I wonder what's going on here. We got like a piece of paper shoved into the child lock. There we go. We got see, that's clear. Yeah, that's weird. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That's the first time for me. I mean, here we go. We got here's some paint coming off here, right through there. All right, let's see what this looks like on the other side. See if we can see where they might have seamed this quarter panel in over here. Pretty low, I would say. It's hard to say where they seamed it. Still can't, not quite sure. It's probably somewhere in here. I mean, the bodywork's not too bad on it, on the top side and in here. I mean, I can pick this out because it comes up through and then it does like a little swale out here. So something's going on there. Yet, you know, the door gaps are okay here across the back. You can actually see the doors out a little far here. And this gap right here, that's extremely large. Alright, let's see what the rest of the interior looks like on this side. It's just taking so long to get around this car. And we got so much more we want to do. We want to actually see what we got to do to get this car so we can take it for a drive, you know. Make sure it's safe to go down the road. And actually test out the transmission and make sure the engine and everything else is running. Like I said, we're missing every screw in this door panel. Typical, we got a crack here in this. That's just something normal. I like to pop these off. Kind of lets you get in here, do a little bit more inspection. What do we got here? Here's your radio antenna wire. That needs replaced because it's no good. Other than, let me see here. Look up underneath this dash. See if anything looks bad or out of place. Original blower motors in here. You know, right here at this spot. I don't see nothing, but I didn't look up underneath on the dash side. We'll try that quick. Yeah, so, you know, we got an antenna here that it's loose, don't work, obviously. Yeah, so let's see what it looks like up underneath the dash here quick, on the driver's side. Well, here we go. Looks like it has some kind of alarm mess going on here into the wiring, which is, you know, honestly, that's something you don't really want to see. So that'll have to be removed and fixed and done correctly there. You know, it just nothing else too terrible is jumping out at me other than the alarm system that's in here. Something was screwed here at one time. I mean, you know, these are old cars, so people do stuff to them. They have hard lives no matter what they are. Alright, so that's the outside and the inside of the car. Let's get underneath this thing and see what we find.